Hello everybody, welcome back to the arena. Today's 300 gold quest is to win 2 games with a black and a red deck. So we've done a little secret that I'll show you. If you ever have a color combination you don't feel qualified to win a game with, and you don't have a lot of time on your hands to build another deck, you can just add a cycling that cycles for a card that cycles for generic mana to your mono red deck, and voila, you have a red black deck. Let's go get into the arena. I know, mono red, probably not very exciting. We have no Hazarets, we have no Phoenix, we have no Glorybringer. It's basically a ham sandwich. Can it win? We're battling a one-man army. Intimidating to say the least, especially if the match starts. Whenever this abandoned match thing comes up, I always wonder, but it looks like we're gonna get in. So, away we go. Please be on the play. On the play. Please be on the play. On the play. The deck has no resiliency, really. It really is some of the worst red cards. An ugly little mashup of red cards. We have no Earthshaker Kenras. We have one Ramunap Ruins. We have no Rampaging Ferocidons. We have none of the cards that make the red deck extremely good, aside from 2 Ahn-Crop Crashers and 3 Lightning Strikes. So, whether or not this can win some games is certainly suspect. Well, so far this game is going swimmingly, with neither player receiving their hand. What to do in a case like this? Let's click around, attack some leaves, attack some lizards. There were some lizards over there. I bet it comes up over here later. Gotta be really quick if you want to hit a lizard or a dragonfly. Come on out, lizard. I know you're coming. Usually emerges right over here somewhere. Get my cat-like counter-strike reflexes going. Butterflies, die butterfly. Eat the and I missed it. Did you see it? It came out just for a second. Poof, 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 poof. Look at it. Make dust. Oh, looks like our opponent's on the timer. Do we get a free win? As much as I'd hate the free win, I will take it because I don't feel good about this quest one little bit. I don't have a good mix of control cards for red black. Their tribe pirates is dramatically underpowered. Better off playing mono red. So yeah, come on, go baby, go. Oh, in there, just in time. And look at that, no mountains. My luck continues to astound me. Oh my god. Well, this is embarrassing. So, my first game was a Mold of 5 too. I tried to play a game before I started recording to warm up, and it was also a Mold of 5 and a disaster. And now we've got 2 in a row to start the day. As this has been my luck lately. Really, dude? Your timer's still running. Oh, come on, free game. I need free game. I need it. One-man army. It's not gonna work. I'm in so much trouble. The red deck can't really hold up. It's got no good cards. I need the freebie wins for the gold, for the land, for the team, for the collection. I can't make a God Pharaoh's gift deck with about 100 more packs. Wait, what the heck? His timer went to 0. Why does it work this way? What? I'm so confused right now. But whatever. Let's get harsh. And now suddenly our opponent has the touch. They are flying at 100 miles per hour, or they were. What will they do now? What will they do now? Oh god, are we back to holding? Like what? What do you suppose is going on in this person's life? Are they multi-queued? Are they playing a really intense match of chess? Do they have a Magic Online League going at the same time? Are they trading stocks and making fortunes? Do they have children running around their house causing chaos? Are they, in fact, a child who barely knows what they're clicking? One can only speculate. And wait. And wait. and wait. One can do that too. What's new in the world? Those of you who, I don't know, follow me more than you should, I have a roller derby team. They won a game over the weekend by 400 points, so they're doing a really good job. I don't play on the team, I coach the team, so I'm a proud coach, so happy to talk about that every now and then. I saw, let's see, no, I didn't see a movie this last weekend. It was before that I saw Ready Player One, I think, but I saw it whenever it came out, and I really like that movie. I think it is a movie for gamers as long as they don't get too cynical and jaded about the commercialism of it, because I think that we know more than most people how like close that future is to being a real thing, because we are kind of more in the Twitch culture, the gaming culture, the VR culture. So I think more than the average moviegoer who's like, that's a really weird, I just don't think everybody would play video games like that. Nah, they would. You'd play that video game and you'd like it. So I like Ready Player One. I think it's kind of our movie, and we should, as video game culture, go see it. All right, our opponent times out their turn. Let's do some damage. Let's reveal. Since we drew a pirate, we can play this for 1 instead of the 3 I thought I'd have to pay. And we can play a rigging runner, and we can bolt the face. And we got a time walk out of them. Let's see if we get another. Woo-ha! Magic-wise, looking over Dominaria spoilers. I hope you guys are excited about those. I head over to mythicspoiler.com as my place of choice, but there are plenty of places that you can check out the latest in Dominaria cards. And will they be on Arena, and if so, how many will we get? They've implied that there won't be a wipe associated this time, but I'm not going to take their word for it. Every new set so far has included a wipe, but if there isn't a wipe, do they just give us some packs, or do they just add packs to the store? I would hope that they give us some packs, as it would take a long time to make any kind of deck featuring Dominaria cards if we were just earning them 1 pack at a time. Again, no real news on that, but of course, excitement for a new Magic set. I always get excited about a new Magic set. That's fine with me. You're seeing the timer in all its glory on display here in Magic Arena. It goes all the way to 0. Our opponent has no timeouts, and yet we wait. I find this so confusing, so strange. Why have a timer that goes to 0 and there appears to be no penalty? I'm not sure what's going on this side of the table, but in my opinion, if you have no timeouts and your timer goes to 0, maybe the first time your turn ends and the second time your game ends. It doesn't feel like it should be permitted to continue and happen every single turn. Not just every single turn, mind you. Every single phase is a timer reset. So if our opponent did this on our turn, they could run their timer almost to 0 on our upkeep, on our draw step, in our main phase, in our combat phase, in our after combat main, and in our end step. And there is, at long last, the gods of Arena have awarded us the victory. And as you see, very skill being deeply rewarded in Arena. Just the ability to show up and play cards, and you get 200 gold and an Aven Initiate. Let's try again. I'll take it. It was a mull to 5. And it shows, I don't know, maybe some of you out there can watch a video like that and say, well, that's what you might run into if you get into Arena. It is currently a thing. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to hide you from it. On the draw, a hand like this, if we had another mountain, it would be fine, but I feel it's too risky. And now we need a mountain, and we get to scry. Basically, we get a look at our top card, and if that's not a mountain, then we get another card, and if that's not a mountain, maybe we shouldn't be playing this game. So keep running ice cold on the draws so far today. Our mull to 6 didn't turn out, or our mull to 5 in that first game didn't turn out terrible, but I bet any competent opponent we would have lost. All right, we'll give this one more draw step. We've had to mulligan multiple hands because of Sunscorched Desert, but there was only 3 in the deck. I don't feel it's something that we should be... the deck doesn't need editing. I'm confident. I've played so many games with the Merfolk deck, and this curve is lower than that I know that 21 lands is a reasonable number to avoid flooding out in this game. I've definitely been through enough of the Merfolk deck to know that. But in red, all I need is one of like 18 red sources, and that should happen in over 90% of my games. However, as you've seen, these hands haven't quite cooperated. We will keep this. Are we on the draw again? I believe we are. Oh, we're on the play. Wow. Perhaps a new leaf being turned over here as we keep an opener and we're on the play. Oh, my lordy. My life is suddenly feeling all together. Let's get in there with a robber. While the door is open, we got to send the robber. And there is a branch walkie. And I've definitely got something for you, Branch Walker. Ooh, that's interesting. I could just see if you'd like to trade and play these two, and that opens up a Cartouche of Zeal. Lannery? But I'd have to draw land for that to happen. Or I could play like Trailblazer, put a Cartouche of Zeal on it. Same thing for a Buccaneer, but that leaves the mana open. I could Lightning Strike this and Buccaneer. I think that's actually the play, because then next turn I still have Cartouche Trailblazer open, and it might be a creature too big to Lightning Strike. Alright. So I think that's actually the way to do it. Lots of options. Who says red decks are easy? Well, they are. Get over it. They just are. It's like, how best shall I kill the opponent? These ways. Now, there is something to be said for, you know, the very best of the best. The 1% red players know how to get that one more damage out of their turns. So I'm not saying that red is always easy. I'm just saying it's a debate. We could have an argument, right? Okay, so it's a 4-3. We definitely want to get around it. And I think this is the play. And I think we want it on our menace creature so that it can keep getting in afterwards, unless, of course, our opponent has a removal spell, in which case I think we would have seen that instead of a blocker. And we drop our opponent to 7 and put them against the ropes. And they find a mountain. They are doing lots of exploring. That is true. Harsh Mentor. But we draw Open Fire. Lordy, lordy. So what's the play? If we attack with this and he double blocks with these and single blocks with one of these, he takes 2 and he loses all but 1 creature, and we have 3 creatures on the board. I could play Lannery. See, I do think that finishing this game is going to require... The weird thing about that is I want to play the Buccaneer, and I can't once I play Lannery. But I don't really want to play the Buccaneer this turn or next turn because it's just a very bad, kind of a weak play. Whereas having more mana and clues gets me closer to sacking Ramunap Ruins and then Open Fire for the win. Let's see. I do think it's Lannery. And I think we just attack with all and try to get our opponent to 3. As best we can. Let's see how they decide to block this. Okay, okay, okay. So they're going to take 3. I can trade my treasure for the Jadelight Ranger, which I suppose is a decent play. At this point, you have to think, though, that the opponent's plan is to go land 5 Glorybringer and kill the Trailblazer. And with our opponent at 4, I guess I still want to make this play, though. It is rough. All right. Here we go. Will it be the Glorybringer on the Trailblazer? Well, you'd think he'd have played it a lot quicker than that if it were the case. All right. Get in there, Trailblazer. He should kill it now if he has a removal spell in case I have Rigging Runner. And damage? Okay. I mean, is there a Pulsar Marasa or something I don't know about? Let's find out. I'm not goofing around. I want my quest gold. I gotta have it. Aha! We did it. We did it. We broke through. I know. We used a cheapy little red deck, but hey, should get a few points for just the total lack of good cards in the deck. So quest achieved. We need 100 more, and it looks like we're not gonna get it. We're only gonna get 50 more gold. Stopped right at the edge of glory, but not interested in continuing to play the red deck. Not really. It's not. It both isn't quite my style and isn't a very strong deck. What I have here is a Scarab God deck that I'll try. I know that it's a divisive deck in the format. My Scarab God video has received a lot of views and a lot of negative comments about just how much they hate the Scarab God. Of course, I do have only one of them. It is a blue-black kind of control deck, kind of not really. It has a lot of creatures in it, and it also has two of a card that I'm enjoying a bit, which is Archfiend of Ifnir. This has a turn 2 search. I'm keeping it without a black source. I am insane. That's how much I love Search for Azcanta, I suppose. Nighthawk once said that any hand with 2 lands, one of which is red, and a Cathartic Reunion is a keep no matter what, and I oddly feel the same way about Search for Azcanta, which maybe doesn't make a lot of sense, especially against white, where they can cast it out or Ixalan's binding it, and it's like I just kept a horrible hand. We're also very soft to an Oketra's Monument, which is a deck I've been seeing lurking about. Alright, black mana or bust. Graveyard. Wow. There's an Archfiend, but we're probably just going to be cycling it. I will hold up the Essence Scatter and miss my land drop, though, which sucks. Ooh, he cycles the cast out. Okay, so that's... Yay, I guess. And there is blue mana. And here comes the kitty. More kitty damage. Let's cycle you. Archfiend to the graveyard. So the combo I was starting to talk about that I really like is Archfiend of Ifnir, Champion of Wits. Let me see if we can put that together for you. But for those of you who are sharp and know the cards off the top of your head, you might already be thinking, ooh. I hope so anyway. Oh, are we going to name Cat? Let's find out. Let's find out what we name. Or is it Zombie? Because Zombie... zombie is what these come back as when they're embalmed, and it is cat. Okay, so on that note, we will cast you out of the kitty. Get out, kitty. And our opponent misses a land drop, I believe, there. We need another black mana, not another blue mana. We can't really play anything in our hand off another blue mana. And if we ever flip this as Azcanta, it makes a blue mana, so I'm going to graveyard that. And there is a black mana. Moving right along. We could Ifnir ourselves to flip faster. That's kind of like stonering yourself to unstonering yourself. Can't support it. Can't get behind it. Sounds a little too crazy. But Ifnir Rivuletting the opponent right now looks worse every moment of the day. Alright. I do want to flip as Azcanta, so we are going to fire off this moment of Cray Cray. And graveyard and transform. Alright, we are doing it. I've got to think he has a Regal Caracal. Like, I smell a Regal Caracal, and I really want to counter it, so we're going to wait on deploying the Glyph Keeper because we have the kind of option on the side of Azcanta the Sunken Ruin in the meantime, and we hit an Arguel's Bloodfast. Juicy. And a Doomfall. And our opponents seen enough. They want none of the Azcanta. Oh my lord. Where's our time at? Well, we're only at 19 minutes. I feel like we could definitely do another game. Open me up. That's better than a pack. We got a decent card reward, you guys. Jade Light Ranger in the house. I'll have to brew up around that later. So, yay. I would say probably 1 out of 100 card rewards is one I would actually use in a deck. So, you have witnessed awesomeness. I think the YouTube videos do tend to get more awesome card rewards than the Twitch videos. Don't know how or why that works out that way, as I spend nearly 4 times as much time on Twitch, but that seems to be the way it is. We got the draw go version of the hand. Essence Scatter and Supreme Will being the counter spells in the deck. Weird, but I'll take it. I'll play it. We also have this Curator of Mysteries, which we can cycle or we can cast. And let's try to figure out what our opponent's up to. Dubs Blue. Treasure Map. Yeah, seems like a control face-off, which means Curator should probably be cycled. And Dusk Legion Zealot. So we have a different 2-drop, which is good because I don't think we'll be Essence Scattering anything. And on come the lands. We got the deserts in the house. It's another case where hopefully it doesn't come down to milling my opponent. You never know in this world. Ew, Field of Ruin. Gross. And strategic planning is occurring. So, is our opponent blue-white tokens? Are they Scarab God? Still unclear. And cancel. So, hard counters in this deck. This one's going to get messy, folks. Ooh, but they let me have the Bloodfast. They could have a Spell Pierce. I can't really play around that. So we'll play this, and I'm just going to play the island so that our opponent can't fix the mana with their field just yet. But the Bloodfast is one of the cards that can keep us in the game, along with Search for Azcanta. But Bloodfast is interesting because it doesn't play around enchantment removal like Brontodon, and it doesn't play around Ixalan's Binding, but it does play around the omnipresent, could be in every deck, Field of Ruin, in that it does most of its damage while it's an enchantment. Let's see if our opponent, they are white, but I'm not seeing that Ixalan's Binding just yet. So blue-white, strategic planning, probably Approach of the Second Sun, and they've been a Binding and a Cast Out. What do you suppose they kept instead? Field of Ruin is going to be very handy if they flip this treasure map. We could also field a field, but I don't find that necessary right now. All right, send in the Zealot. Let the Zealot beatings continue. They will continue until all or both are dead, or none. And the map will continue to spin. If our opponent activates the map on their turn, we get like an easy field target. If they don't, we have this awkward, we do have to wait till they flip the map, and if they're smart, they'll do it on our end step, so they untap and draw at least one card from the deal before we Field of Ruin their land. But we'll see what they do. Nothing. Interesting. Let's get some cards in our life. Another field is pretty excellent. The thing is, am I willing to discard here? Our opponent may be playing completely creatureless, so the Moment of Craving may be a very dead card, but we can kind of use it to draw a card when they try to remove our creature. I'm going to do it. It also makes Essence Scatters very dead cards, so maybe that's what I should be discarding. And we find another Zealot, okay? And a Doomfall, wow. So what's going on this turn? Our opponent's shown a proclivity for hard counters, and they either took a land because they were landlight, or they took an Approach of the Second Sun. If they have an Approach of the Second Sun, we want to make sure Doomfall resolves, so we want to back it up with a Supreme Will. And we want to make sure that we field this thing shortly after it flips. If our opponent targets our field, we can't respond by targeting anything else, so the first field is almost sacrificial. This is a very interesting spot. Let's send in our Zealot. Doesn't draw a response. So I think I have to save the field until after the map flips, untaps. I could play one, and he could use on end step, kill field, I tap it. It's just not very good. I guess I'll play the Rivulet then instead and continue to hide the field. And we'll play the Zealot. and not the Doomfall. We'd like to back the Doomfall with Supreme Will and try to hit something along the lines of a approach. So let's go to end step, and I think I actually just want to discard the Champion of Wits. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Party begins. Flip the thing. And I can still play this. Do I want to? Instead of drawing a card, instead of holding up a Supreme Will? Well, countering the first approach doesn't work anyway. What we want to do is support the Doomfall. And our opponent might use the field on the Rivulet. Let's go for it. Opponent may have Essence Scatter here. No? Interesting. I'm trying to think if... I don't think Melody is going to come into play at all this game, so we'll drop that off. And our opponent will probably approach. Take the time to approach. Remember, countering the first one isn't what matters. You can counter it, but they still win the game because it's if you cast it twice. And it's a Regal Caracol instead. Okay. What does it mean, my precious? And a Cryptic Serpent. Okay, I read Approach, I read Creatureless Approach, and I was wrong. It happens. Let's figure out how we're gonna play it. I believe that the right thing now would be to Field of Ruin that Treasure Cove. He could have an Essence Scatter of his own. What did he keep? Maybe the Caracol? He could have an Essence Scatter of his own. But then he can't draw any cards. So that's fine. Not great, just fine. Could blow this up first. And then Chupa. But if he sacks both of the treasures, I don't care. Maybe I'm overthinking attacking this Treasure Cove, and I just need to let it be. He's down to 3 cards. We're ahead on cards. If I hold up a card, what should it be? I guess the Essence Scatter now that we're in this kind of weird face-off. See what happens. Is he going to sack 2 more treasures for an Essence Scatter? It was so confusing because he's got all these hard counters and removal. And just a misread on the deck, it appears. Alright, so that goes down. So we'll end the turn. So he burned 2 cards to counter the Chupacabra. It's a very interesting game. Hope you're enjoying it as the last game on here. Wow, that was something. And then I got Rivers rebuked for lethal. I'm so confused. It all came out of nowhere. I guess I should have Doomfalled that hand a lot sooner, but I thought I knew what was going on. But you always tend to see what you play, and what I play is Creatureless Approach. And so I think that influenced how I played that game a bit too much. Lessons learned, my friends, lessons learned. But hopefully that was a fun game for you to watch. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you another time in the arena.